Hello and welcome back to another episode of Spurs This Week. I'm Toby from _Spurs Center, and today we are going to be reviewing our extra time loss against Everton and then our dismal defeat against Manchester City. Today I am joined by Louis from _Spurs.fan.page_, Max
Hello.
from the Hotspur News, and Bodie from Hotspur.industry. How you guys doing?
Good, you?
Doing good. Thanks for asking. All right, let's just jump right into it, I guess.
Let's go.
What a game from Everton and Spurs. I mean, we did end up losing, but I mean, it was exciting to watch. I mean, a lot of Spurs fans have been calling for us to get back to like the attacking ways, but I guess it kind of showed why we haven't been attacking as much because our defenders conceded 5 goals as soon as we started attacking. But, Max, we'll start with you. What do you think about the game in general?
Yeah, like for me, I think that game was like a prime example of like the difference in quality between our defense and attack. I mean, people have been calling out for attacking football under Mourinho, and we play attacking and we still lost. Like, shows that, like I've said this time and time again, like Mourinho's tactics is defensive football. It won't work unless you have a good defense. So,
yeah. I mean, it does show how maybe Jose Mourinho knows a little bit more than Georgie THFC on Twitter. But I mean, Mourinho does, like, he does know what he's doing. He's won it everywhere. We don't have the defenders to suit his style at the moment. So hopefully we can circle back to that and develop a team that's good enough to challenge for titles with the Jose Mourinho style. And I mean, we are challenging for titles. We are in the Carabao Cup final against Manchester City, which we'll get into that later. But if
we don't win, then Mourinho might be gone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he'll be gone. I think as long as we qualify for a European tournament.
If he doesn't, then
yeah.
Well, for me, the main priority the main priority is Champions League football. Like, I'd rather get in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah. But Davinson Sanchez with a brace.
Oh,
yeah. Imagine telling yourself that before the game. Davinson Sanchez scoring 2 goals. And then
it was because I had a feeling that he was going to do well in that game. I was thinking, I know this is coming from me, which is ridiculous, but I thought Sanchez was actually going to do well if he played, and he did play, and he scored a brace, and he wasn't too bad. So
no,
I mean, he ran all the way from centre back and scored.
Maybe he's a better striker than a center back. Maybe we're just playing him in the wrong position.
From now on, he should play up front from now on.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I still think we have better defenders than him. And I mean, he did perform less than ideal against Man City. But we'll get into that game in a bit. Who would you say was your Spurs player man of the match? Who did you think played the best? Lamela? Yeah, he had a good game.
Lamela, 100%.
Yeah. He got a goal as well, which, I mean, is rare for one of our right wingers to score a goal. And considering we started with 3 of them, it's good. Yeah. But what did you think about Pierre-Emile Højbjerg making 2 mistakes leading to Everton goals?
He needs to cut that out of his game. Like, he's been such a good player all season, but this City, like, I know, like, well, in my opinion, like, it wasn't a penalty, like the Man City game, but again, Everton, that's 2 games in a row, he's given the ball away in stupid areas. Like, I noticed it a couple of times in the Europa League. He's just cut that out of his game, and yeah, good.
I mean, he just had bad games, and obviously he's low on confidence like the rest of the team. He's still one of our best players, but I mean, surely he'd probably be looking at that defense, and he'd become nervous with the ball, because he knows if he loses it, they're knackered. They're going to concede if he loses the ball, so that probably makes him a lot more nervous on the ball, and then he did lose it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like once you make one mistake, you get more nervous on the ball, and then you're more likely to make a second mistake, and then it's just more likely to like slippery slope into a just a section, like a run of bad form for you. So hopefully he can come out of it soon. Probably get him a start against Wolfsberger in the Europa League this midweek and help him build his confidence back up. But Hugo Lloris also had a few less than ideal moments in the past week. What are you guys thinking on that? Do you think you just stick with him, or do you think it's time to think about selling him this summer?
Get him out and get Areola.
I mean, Lloris is what, 34 years old?
Yeah.
He's towards the end of his career, to be honest.
He's past his prime, and I realised that after the World Cup. I know he's saved us quite a few times, but at the same time, he's shown moments where he's past his prime. He makes too many mistakes, unforced errors.
He probably won't do if he said he passed his prime. He's probably not going to do well for the Euros in France when the Euros.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with France.
You never know.
I did think that after the restart, Hugo had been one of our best players. But I wanted to sell him this summer anyway, because if we don't sell him this summer, the likelihood that we'll get any money out of him is next to none. So there's a few players. We could probably go after. Donnarumma obviously has a contract expiring this summer. Unlikely that we'll get him unless we.
Spurs fans need to get this out of their head. Will never come to Spurs.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Cody is really excited about the idea of signing Areola from Fulham, right?
I don't blame him.
He's 28 years old, right? So he could have another 5-6 years in his prime before he starts to decline like Lloris has. He's French again. He's French as well, and because he plays for a team in the French league, prices have dropped in the French league, so you can get deals for cheaper. He has a 12 million buy option for Fulham, and that's only likely that he's going to join on if Fulham stay up, and Fulham look like they're going to go down. So if you could get the same price for Lloris and then sign a younger alternative who arguably has been one of the best keepers in the league, why wouldn't you?
To be honest, Cody, I think him and Gazzaniga needs to get out somehow.
Yeah, we need to sell Gazzaniga. He's not.
To be honest, I think he should go to the club he's on loan at now.
Yeah, I don't really care where he goes. We just need to sell him, get the money in. He's not providing anything to the squad because Mourinho obviously doesn't like him. But another option to that, I know he just made a few mistakes against Arsenal this past week, but Ilan Meslier from Leeds, he's only 20 years old. So if we signed him, he could be at the club for 10 to 15 years.
I've watched him this season.
When I'm 20 or something, he'll probably still be at the club.
But to be fair, I've watched Meslier this season, and overall he's been a pretty solid keeper. I've watched quite a few of these games this season.
Yeah,
he's saved them quite a few times. Okay, throughout the Arsenal game, he made a couple errors, but that happens to every goal. It's a goalkeeper in one game.
Mm-hmm. Especially considering he's only 20.
Yeah, he's still in our squad is young, so it kind of fits into the whole young. I say the whole youth idea. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
when you're at that age, especially as a keeper, you're learning from every mistake. So he's bound to get just better and better and better. And 20 years old, and he's already kept 7 clean sheets in the best league in the world. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And then also his market value, according to FOTMob, is around £5 million. So
wow,
cheap option.
Yeah, so he could also be cheap, but I feel like Areola would be a good signing too.
No, see, he may seem solid and all, but he's 20 years old. He's a gamble.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I've got this just popped into my head. A swap deal for Lloris to get the keeper we're just talking about.
That's what I was saying. But the thing that sets me apart from Mike Maignan and Areola, which I've seen a lot of people want to sign Mike Maignan, is that Areola has already proven his quality in the Prem. Maignan's more gamble than Areola is, and yes, Maignan may be younger, but he'll be more expensive than Areola, and considering our money situation, Areola would be financially better. not to mention, like I said, he's proven his worth in the Prem. He knows he's good enough, and I think 12 million for a keeper of his quality is an absolute bargain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. Sorry, I realized that Fatma was probably not a very reliable source, so I checked that transfer market, and Meslier is worth more like 9.5 million pounds, but or valued at more closer to 9.5 million. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think we should move Lloris on this summer, like I was saying earlier, like just to get some money back on the deal. And we already know that the climate in terms of business, it's just prices are going to be low, and we need to get every source of revenue we can. So I think we signed, we hired someone named Todd Klein, who was part of the deal where the Miami Dolphins, which is a NFL team in America, he was part of the deal that sold the naming rights to their stadium for, I think they made it like the third most expensive naming rights deal out of like any NFL team, and they were only like the 11th most valuable or profitable franchise. So if we could sell the stadium rights, I mean, I don't want us to necessarily, but I mean, we do need the revenue. So
is this about the wait? What we're thinking about selling the stadium to Miami Dolphins?
No, we hired someone who used to work for the Miami Dolphins, who will help us sell the naming rights. Probably. I mean, we know that we hired him, but we don't know exactly what we hired him for. But that's what he's done in the past. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Sorry about all the notifications. Sorry about the notifications. It's my Discord.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you guys want to talk about on the Everton game?
Nope. I think it's next up. I think it's City on now. Max, it's your moment.
Get me the bleach.
Get me the. Yeah, what was right about the City game is that I'm looking, because for me, like the first 20-25 minutes, like we looked all right. I mean, I don't think like for the whole half, City didn't really have like they didn't create like a proper goal scorer.
Yeah.
And obviously Kane hit the bar. But the second half, like I'm looking on the pitch, and it's looking like the players aren't even trying. I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying some of them. But credits to Tanganga. I thought he had a very good game. Like, I don't know why Mourinho's thrown him in. Like, he hasn't played in the first team for so long, and he's thrown him in against the team who are most likely going to win the league this season. They're the league leaders.
Yeah.
They've scored many goals this season, and he's up against Raheem Sterling, who's in very good form this season. But once again, individual errors. Lloris for the penalty, Højbjerg giving the ball away. Lloris should have saved the second goal, but the defenders letting Sterling run past all of them. Mm-hmm. And the third goal, Sanchez getting sent back to Colombia. So, I mean, like City were excellent. Once again, like for me, it was like a nothing performance, realistically. So, it's nothing much to say in terms of what we did.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just like depressing. I mean, we're in 9th now after being top of the table after 12 games. I
was going to say,
I mean, we do have a game in hand on Liverpool, Leicester, and Man United. But if we win our game, we go 1 point. If we win our game in hand, which is against West Ham, I believe. Yeah, against West Ham. So if we beat West Ham, we would we'd jump in front of them, and then we'd be ahead of Chelsea, but Chelsea would have a game in hand, and we'd be 1 point behind Liverpool. So, I mean, it's not all doom and gloom, I guess. But it is concerning where we are at the table this far into the season. Although we are still ahead of Arsenal by 2 points, and we have a game in hand. So, but going back to what you were saying on Tanganga, do you guys see him as more of a right back or a left back or a center back?
Centre back all day. Centre back.
Mm-hmm. I feel like right now we should be playing him at center back with Rodon, and then Reguilon on the left and Aurier on the right. Max, you go ahead.
Because the thing is, I would say centre back, because when he made his debut against Liverpool last season, he played centre back. Same with Man City at home last season. Like, I think centre back's his natural position. Like at right back, like I don't mind Aurier because he's been pretty decent this season, and plus Aurier gets forward ball our attack. Yeah, I think Tanganga's better off at centre back for me.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that in general. I think for now at least, he should be playing at center back, and then maybe over the summer we sign an amazing, talented, proven center back who can partner Rodon, and then we can play Tanganga as like our long-term solution at right back, and then maybe he can just be someone who's versatile and we play him all along the back line when we need to. But or maybe we just keep him as a center back and then we just rotate him and our new center back that we're going to sign over the summer, knock on wood. But yeah, I mean, we definitely need to sign some new defenders over the summer. I mean, that's just clear as day. Gareth Bale, though, I thought he was impressive when he came on. Actually, he had our most shots and most shots on target of any Spurs player for the entire game.
Speaking of Bale, I don't think he'll come back next season
unless he seriously turns it up. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
My dad told me that. He said he's past his prime, and he'll probably maybe go to another club, or maybe come back to Real Madrid and play there. But you never know.
I don't know if he'll go back to Madrid. I mean, he'll go back to Madrid, but if anything, I think they'll release him. I saw something, I don't remember what a news source it was, but apparently they're asking Sergio Ramos to take a pay cut so that they can pay Bale because the wages he's on. Like, what were they thinking when they signed him on that? That's just crazy. I mean, he's on like £600,000 a week. Isn't that what it is?
Yes, around that. Yeah,
that's insane. It's more than
the thing with Bale is that, like, if you compare Bale like now to 7 years ago at Spurs, like, because the thing with Bale is that he hasn't performed consistently, like, and for me, like, there's only been a couple of games where he's shown what he can do. So the Wickham game, Manchester City, when he came on, he looked like he, and there's been occasions when he's shown like what he can do, but the fact that he doesn't show it every game really shows that he's aging and he's really starting to prime.
There was a chance in the Man City game where I think we were starting a counter and we played it out to Bale. And like, it was just flashes of himself against Inter Milan. Like, he took it and he was sprinting, but then he just kind of slowed down and pulled the ball back and got like around a defender and played it back to our left back or to a center mid or something. But it was like, you could just see like 7 years ago, Gareth Bale would take that ball all the way down the line and get across an or shot. And then now he just doesn't seem to have the energy, to be completely honest. But Dele Alli also got a cameo off the bench against Man City.
That's good. Not gonna lie, he needed it.
I keep waiting for Dele to like come off the bench and have like this impact, but every time I just feel like he's, I don't know, lackadaisical at best. What do you think on him, Cody?
He was average.
Yeah, I think he's been pretty average, but hopefully against West Ham or Wolfsberger, he gets a start and really like just takes control of the game, because I think that's really what we're missing from the Dele Alli, who could just pop up and score 2 goals out of nowhere, even necessarily if he isn't controlling the game. But because I think he used to just kind of ghost in a game, and then all of a sudden he would pop up and have 2 or 3 goals just out of nowhere. But yeah, buddy, what were you gonna say?
What I'm thinking is, see, I really like Dele Alli, obviously. I always wanted him to do well, but after I've seen the recent games, I've been so disappointed, and I still haven't lost faith in him yet. But I think he should start against Wolfsberg, and if he doesn't play well, he should honestly be sold.
Yeah,
I agree.
We could probably get a lot of money for him over the summer and then reinvest that into a center back. But I mean, this summer could be. I mean, I doubt it's going to be the way we all want it to be, because it's not FIFA, which is what a lot of people have been saying, like when people show their dream transfer windows. But we really seriously need to offload some of this deadwood, like Dele Alli, Moussa Sissoko, Harry Winks, Gareth Bale.
We need Okay, Rob. Before you say this is FIFA, I think these are realistic transfers. I know they won't all happen, but I think Winks could maybe stay, but I think he should go. Sissoko has to go. Dele has to go. I don't think Vinicius should stay. Lloris has to go. Sanchez has to go. Alderweireld, Dyer, they all have to go. Doughty, I'll give him another season, but then afterwards he has to go. Davies, he's absolutely diabolical, right?
Yeah.
And then we should sign Danny Ings, James Ward-Prowse. We've rumoured with Eric Konza. I'd love to see him at the club. Cornate, maybe even Max Aarons, but he's likely to go to Bayern. And then bring Sessegnon and Skip back and then integrate them into the team.
Yeah.
If you notice one thing I do notice is how important Reguilon is to the side. I read a stat this morning. I think in 17 of the games that Reguilon's played in, we've only lost 2 of them.
Yeah.
So that shows that how important he is to the side. I mean, okay, for Ben got as much quality going forward compared to Reguilon, which is what we need to support the attack. But for Reguilon puts a foot in, whereas Davis is more hesitant whilst defending. So I think Reguilon should return for Wolfsberger on Thursday, which is massive need because we've missed him big time.
Yeah, it's a huge boost. What were you gonna say, Woody?
How does anyone hype up Davies? I swear he is the most lackluster player on the pitch. I even think Sanchez is better than Davies, and that's saying something. I think what does Davies actually contribute to the team? People say that he's fantastic defensively. I'll give him the benefit that he has recent games he's had to mark some really good players. But if it was Reguilon doing that, he would have done it no problem. Davies, really struggled. He really struggled. He doesn't contribute anything up forward, which, let's face it, this is still Poch's team. We still need to play. We need to use wing play, and if he can't contribute anything down the left side, then that leaves Son completely quiet because he needs help on the left side. So he has more variety if he can cut in or he can play it out to Davies or Reguilon or whoever. He doesn't contribute anything up front. He loses most of the possession when he's passing up forward anyways. And then he just runs backwards. He doesn't even go for the challenge. It's like he just runs backwards and just tries to put his body in the way of the ball. It's like I'm sure he would do good at a different club, but at Spurs he's not Premier League quality, or he's at least not quality Spurs to be at.
Yeah, I mean, I think to say he's not Premier League quality is a little harsh, but I could see him playing for a team like Newcastle or Crystal Palace, maybe something in the mid-table. But yeah, I don't think he's necessarily at our level. I mean, we've said it for a while. He's average, 6 out of 10s every time, basically. But I mean, this season he's actually dropped in a few 5 or 4 out of 10s. So it is something to worry about. And then going back on what you were saying earlier about all the players that need to be sold, and even what I was saying, I think Winks is safe because he's English and he's academy, and we're struggling with the homegrown rules right now. And Dyer is safe because Mourinho loves him.
Yeah, that was actually a really good point that earlier about Son, because if you compare Davis and Reguilon offensively, Reguilon likes to get forward more. People brag on about Harry Kane, whereas there's clearly proof that Son carried us through the Champions League a couple of years ago. People saying Son stuff like Kane need to just think again because the things like the point Bodie made earlier, which is a good point because Reguilon likes to get forward more, and when you look at Davis on the same side as Son contributes a lot less, whereas Reguilon gets more, and therefore Son's involved in the game. So I think having Reguilon on the left-hand side suits Son much more for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. Bodie, what were you going to say?
I'm sure, in the Champions League, when Son was having an absolute blinder, he was playing more on the left side and Lucas was playing in the centre. The thing that before people say that's, it's all Kane and all the rest of it, you see Reguilon, how it helps Son's game so much more, like I said before, and how Max has said. What I was trying to say is, in the Champions League, Danny Rose was playing, and when Danny Rose was playing well, to be fair to him, and he was up, he was going high, like Reguilon has been doing. that really helps Son's game. And I feel like the left side, the left back actually is more heavily focused on Son's game than Kane.
I mean, I think ignoring Reguilón's capabilities as a footballer, but just his physical attributes, I think the fact that he gets up and he bombs down the side, it's another thing for the right back to think about. So they have to cover the side a little bit more to just keep an eye out for Reguilón, and then that opens up the space for Son to have just a little more time on the ball so he can pick the pass or the shot. I think the goal against Arsenal that Son scored, which just the beauty, but I think it was partially because we hit them on the counter, and then Reguilón was just bombing down the flank, and I think Bayern was their starting right back that day. He had to track back and keep an eye on him, and then that just opened up a world of space. I think someone also tripped on the Arsenal team, which gave Son a little bit more room. But
yeah,
and when you add in the fact that Reguilón is so comfortable on the ball and can whip it across himself, if someone decides to close in on Son, he can just lay it off to Reguilón, and then Reguilón has provided more than a few assists to Kane this season. So I think it's something just to think about. Hopefully he'll be back against Wolfsberger, and then he can stay in the team for the rest of the season before he gets injured. What did you think of Lucas Moura against Manchester City?
I don't know because I didn't watch the game. So one of you.
He pretty much reminded me of the Lucas Moura from last season, non-existent.
Yeah.
Gave the ball away every time he received it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he was playing in the cam position, was he? Or was
he was
the right cam. And I've always said this: Moura makes more of an impact off the bench, and I knew this since he arrived. I know against people are gonna talk about the Ajax to prove me wrong, but that's just one game. Yeah. He was just really on form. But Lucas is more of an impact on the right wing because of his pace. In terms of creativity, he offers nothing, and because of his size, he gets kind of bounced off the ball. He loses it every time he receives it. Yeah. So I think once again, it's referring back to the whole issue of injuries. Cam, the Celso is again another miss because he provides creativity, and people say how much we rely on Harry Kane to provide us with this creativity. And the Celso, when he was fit, Kane was getting forward more. The Celso just had to run with the ball and do his thing. But yeah, Lucas is much better on the right or the left wing. Not in Cam, he's not.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll get to you in 1 second. I just want to say something on the Celso. He started the season off so strongly with, I don't remember how many goals he scored, but he scored against City. I think that was his first Premier League goal. He scored a brace, I think, in the Europa League. I think he had only scored 1 or 2 goals all of last season. It's unfortunate that everything panned out the way it did, because he looked like he was really gonna push on and get I don't know, just to another level. And then he got injured, which was not ideal to say the least. But yeah, buddy, what were you gonna say?
I was going to say, I think Lamela. I think Lamela is so underrated. I think people, compared to Lucas Moura, they hype Lucas too much. I think Lamela. He's so good in that central attacking midfield role, and he brings so much creativity. He was the only one in that. He was the only one that City game that looked like he was trying to create something, get something going on the counterattack. And I got messaged by this dude, right, who's having a go at me. He ended up unfollowing me for disagreeing with his opinion. He said how dog shit Lamela is. I said Lamela was the only one creating something. He says, but Lamela kept on falling over his feet, and he's a shit player who loses the ball all the time.
I said, a bit like someone we know.
I said, would you rather him losing the ball, trying to get something going, rather than him just sitting back and not contributing anything offensively? And he said, and then he just unfollowed me, and then was talking shit about my page.
Max, there's someone that we know that does that too.
I think Lamela at the end of the day is he's a good player. I don't think he's quite good enough to be like a starting cam for us. But he is a good player, I think, to bring on. I think he's also another impact sub, similar to Lucas Moura. He just comes on in game and he goes crazy, he gets yellow cards and ball rolls to his heart's content. But I mean, we really need. Go ahead.
The whole defensive issues, but creativity is a whole other issue because the thing is I rate this Solskjaer so much, but the only problem is that he's made of glass, so he gets injured so often, which is why we need a new centre attacking midfield. Because let's be real, Dele Alli is low on confidence. He's not going to contribute anytime soon if he carries on. Lo Celso, I rate him, but he gets injured way too often, which isn't going to help at all. Like, I was thinking Sabitzer, but at the same time, like during this whole run of form, why would Sabitzer want to leave Leipzig, a Champions League semi-finalist last season, and come to us? Like, that's just the main issue with signing Sabitzer.
I mean, something that we do have at the club right now, which other teams don't, is Jose Mourinho. Players just want to play under him because he's such an established manager. So, I mean, maybe that's enough. But, I mean, Sabitzer, he hasn't had a particularly good year in Germany so far this season. He's been all right. I mean, he hasn't been great. And then, so I think we do need to sign a cam. I'm not as certain that it's Sabitzer as I was in previous pods or posts I made on Instagram. But we definitely do need someone to fill that role. But then there's also, we need to sign defenders. Like, it's just as simple as that. We need a new center back or two and a new right back. And with the way the money is right now, I mean, who knows if we'll be able to do that by itself. And that's even before we get into the attack. So it's going to be a tricky summer. I think Daniel Levy, he has the skills as like a negotiator to pull it out, but
I trust him.
I mean, it's also a good thing for Daniel Levy is this summer there's a lot of teams that are in economic crises, I guess, where they need to sell some of their best players. I think recent reports came out that Dortmund, should they not qualify for Champions League, are going to be in a situation like that, and PSV Eindhoven are also in a situation like that. So we could pick off some of their best young talents or even established talents and hopefully it amounts to something. Bodhi, you think you were going to say something?
Pardon?
Oh, I thought you were going to say something, but
No.
I think it's time to get into our preview for Wolfsberger. How confident are we feeling going into this game?
Overall, I'm pretty confident just because it's the Europa League and we're facing like a pretty low quality side.
Yeah,
that's the only reason why I'm confident, to be honest.
Yeah,
and looking at our lineup against Manchester City, like it was pretty evident that we're proper going for it in the Europa League because like I don't understand. Like I know Aurier has like been a bit low on fitness, but at the same time, I don't understand, like, because the thing is, I'm looking at the lineup for Man City, and I don't understand why Mourinho's throwing in Jaffe Tanganga, who hasn't played in so. So it's pretty obvious that we're proper going for it in the Europa League, and rightly so, because looking at the top four race, like at this moment in time, and I said this in my review for Man City, we're going to finish a mid-table side with the way we're going right now, because defences around us, Chelsea, City, Leicester, even West Ham, Aston Villa's defence. Those defences are much better than us. And we're going with this whole like rubbish defending. We're going to finish a mid-table side. So Europa League's like massively important for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we definitely need to go all on it because not only is it a chance for a trophy, but like you were saying, it's a chance for us to qualify for the Champions League, which is probably the only way we're going to make it into the Champions League next season. And then I'm a little worried only because it's a game that we're expected to win, which hasn't gone so well for us in the past. And it's the first leg is away from home. So honestly, even if we draw, I'll be happy, and then we can come back to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and just I feel like we're more comfortable there, and we seem to beat European teams there more easily and more frequently. So Mourinho seems to take these games really seriously, so I don't think we'll see anyone like Alfie Devine or Dane Scarlett in these types of games. But especially since a lot of our highly rated youngsters have gone out on loan this season over the summer and in January. But overall, I mean, we obviously have the quality to beat them. And even if we could get like a 2 or 3-0 win, that would just be amazing. And then we don't have to stress about it going into the other home match. But
yeah, it's important we give away goals, like massive, like really.
Yeah. Because I mean, that's a good point. If we win 2-0, then they have to come to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and score 3 against us, which is just, I mean, I guess it is possible with our defense, but that's another issue.
Yeah, but looking at their quality, like I've seen some of their results, and they lost 3-0 to Lask, who we beat home and away in the. So I guess that makes things a little easier. But then again, it's then against football, so
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. And we won't be able to preview this one because we're not going to have a pod before it. So let's get into the West Ham game as well. I mean, we need to beat them. Simple as that. I mean, A, to get revenge for what happened earlier in the season, and B, we need to get. They're in front of us. West Ham United are in front of the great Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. I mean, we just can't allow that to happen. So if we win, we go back ahead of them, which is the natural order of things. So we really need to win against them. Simple as that. Especially because if we don't win, then we could drop further and further down the table, which is just not something we need right now. Yeah. But any final thoughts from any of you, or anything else you want to cover?
Nope.
I was just saying, what makes me a little more confident about the West Ham game is that we're gonna have like our better defenders. So Aurier and Reguilon should be back, which makes me more. And as I said earlier, it makes Son contribute a lot more. But then again, Sam's attack is also good. So like Benrahma, I mean, Thomas Soucek is in good form. Mikel Antonio. So West Ham are a very physical side. So we need to make sure we're up for the challenge. And what's worrying is that like the amount of goals we've conceded from set pieces, and West Ham are a physical side, and they've scored quite a few goals, which makes me a little bit concerned. But then again, our attack be on form because their defense is a bit shaky as well. So it's a must win game.
Yeah, I think we'd also see Rodon come into the side for that game. As he's not going to be able to play in the Europa League in midweek or next midweek. So hopefully we get to see a little bit of him, preferably alongside Tanganga or Alderweireld. And then, I mean, I think that's probably our strongest way to go. But anything to add, Louis?
Nope.
Alrighty. Anything from you, Max? Or we good to wrap
No,
up?
I think that's it.
Well, thank you for listening. This has been another episode of Spurs This Week. Today it was Toby from _Spurs Center, and I was joined by Max from the Hotspur News, Louis from Spurs_fan page, and Bodie from Hotspur.industry. Remember to follow us on Instagram, Spurs This Week, and then also follow us or subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next one. Come on, you Spurs.
Hi, you Spurs. See ya.